Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light?
Amazing.
What so proudly we've hailed.
It's overwhelming.
At the twilight's last gleam.
Patriotism. We love our
Broad
country.
stripes and bright stars.
This says it all.
I'm here to represent my dad and represent all the people that fallen and support everybody. Like, I lost my father. If they lost like their grandfather or something, then I think they would like to come here because, as I said earlier, it's very kindful that they're doing this for us. It's very generous and everything.
My name is Kimberly Hazelgrove, and I was in the U.S. Army 9 years. For the last few years, we're participating in Rolling Thunder because we're a surviving family member. My husband Brian was killed in Iraq in January of 2004. My husband is home, thank God. He's not home how we would want him, but he's at least we know that where he's at, we know what happened to him. But there are people that are still out here, and this group is the only ones who remember them and remember that they are still out there and they're still missing or they're still captured, and we need to bring them home. It's legacy. If I'm not teaching them the message that we're all here for today, then they're not going to grow up not knowing. So I think bringing children is especially important because you're raising the next generation.
And us will play one of the biggest roles because we will be the ones who live on the generation of Rolling Thunder, who are part of it when others aren't.
Don't forget your fallen ones. Your fallen loved ones are still, like, they're not here. They're always here in your hearts.
What is it?
I don't know what happened to it.
I thought it was like a movie scene prop.
Not a prop, but a work of art.
Which is a yellow school bus shot up with about 3,000 rounds of ammunition.
It led to curious crowds and puzzled looks on the campus of George Mason University.
Like, what is look at those like shotgun blasts on the sides there.
It looks like hell, basically.
And for the artist Victor Middick, that's the point.
The idea is to bring the viewer as close as possible to the actual devastation that the gun can make.
Middick grew up in Yugoslavia, lives in Canada. His thoughts on America?
Like Wild West, there's an obsession of some sort.
Most artists use a paintbrush. Middick uses a gun. Here's another of his works, Whole Jesus, that's H-O-L-E. His latest canvas is a school bus.
It represents innocence, but in nature, yellow and red are the signs of danger. And I kind of wanted to embed the negative energy into something very positive and kind of merge it.
Now, Victor and some others did all of the shooting on a farm outside Toronto, and it was not easy to get this through U.S. Customs. He says he isn't taking a position on gun control.
It's not up to me. I'm not an activist. I'm not here to actually say yes or no. I'm just reflecting on the facts.
There should be more background checks, stricter ones, but I mean, other than that, I don't see a point in restricting magazine sizes or anything like that.
But I feel like screenings need to be more strict because a lot of people who aren't mentally sound get access to them.
You know, I'm sure if you use them safely and properly, then it's fine, you know, but at the same time, you have those people that get all their guns legally and then they just go out and shoot people with them.
Art student Nathan Loda says the piece should push people toward a closer community, not tighter gun control.
The rifle is an instrument, so it's how do we engage with people with an emotional darkness? How do we engage with people in the community that struggle and prevent the actor from acting on their thoughts of violence?
In Fairfax, Beth Parker, Fox 5 News.
911, do you need firemen or police?
In an emergency, life or death can come down to a matter of minutes.
911 emergency.
Time can either be your best friend or your worst enemy.
We've watched deadly tornadoes rip through Oklahoma, a building collapse unexpectedly in Philadelphia, and a derecho last year that left thousands in our area without power. There is never a shortage of emergencies or disasters.
And I have to tell you, it is quite dangerous out here.
And now there is no shortage of information and training on how to survive.
And we teach them how to put out small fires, how to deal with medical situations. Also, we teach them how to do medical triage.
Calvin Hawkins runs the Community Emergency Response Team program, also known as CERT, in Prince George's County. It's a federally funded program taught nationwide for free. Anyone can sign up for the training, which involves 8 lessons over 20 hours. And it can be a mind-changing experience.
It empowers you to go from a point of thinking you're a victim to thinking you can assist not just yourself but others to respond to any emergency or disaster.
Volunteers learn what to do until emergency responders arrive. They're taught in the classroom and with real-time emergency drills.
Search and rescue, if you can hear me, please come to me if you're capable.
This drill simulated a tornado with a partial building collapse.
We've got 2 searchers down.
And victims suffering from very real-looking injuries. Members of the Delmarva Search and Rescue Team helped these CERT teams stay calm in the chaos.
All right, Vanessa.
Thank you, please.
We're going to help you breathe.
Team leader. And we got 2 victims over here.
The way the training's designed, it's taking you from absolutely no experience or education in any sort of disaster response and bringing you up to an area where at least you can be self-sufficient in a disaster.
John, what's the status of your patient? Okay, is he conscious? He's responsive?
Because they can take this training anywhere they go, whether they're on a vacation or they're in church or they're at their place of business. They can use this training.
To the right.
That training kicked in when CERT volunteer Deidre Frazier drove up on an accident.
You go into game mode and you go in prepared to know what you have to do.
She didn't hesitate to take control.
1, 2. So I was able to assist to make sure the victims were okay and then try to direct traffic so that none of the other people would get hurt, or another accident would happen.
Knowing what to do gives her an invaluable tool.
Gives you the ability to trust in your instincts.
Will allow you not only the knowledge but the confidence to do what you can.
They're coming out.
Because when you're waiting for rescuers to get there, someone's life may be in your hands.
It takes one to help one. We all have to help each other.
It's a good way to help your community. It's a good way to get involved and fill a need.
We need help now.
Is he conscious?
He's semi-conscious. He's in and out.
Okay.
An outcome that could very well come down to the very basics.
Plan to prepare or prepare to fail.
She's concerned about her daughter. Her daughter's coming out.
Sherry Lee, Fox 5 News.
You can find anything and everything at your local store. Apples to air fresheners, bread to brie, Coke to crayons, A, B, C to Z. Consumers pretty much have their pick when it comes to products that meet their daily needs, but why do shoppers pick one product over another? Quality was #1 among the shoppers we spoke with.
It looks healthy and fresh.
I like to look for organic, natural ingredients and real foods as opposed to chemicals.
A combination of how good it is for you and how good it tastes.
But nowadays, shoppers' preferences are going beyond products that are good for them. They're looking for products that are good for others, too. Half of the 29,000 consumers across 58 countries polled by Nielsen said they would be willing to pay more for a product if the company was involved in giving back.
I believe that consumers everywhere are starting to question where their products are sourced from. What ingredients, how is this making the world a better place?
David Simnick,
I'm the fool who runs this,
and Dan Dole began creating hope and change through their company Soapbox about 3 years ago. They now operate missions in 15 countries.
So with our bar soap, we donate a bar. With our liquid hand soap, we donate a month of clean drinking water through a charity partner that we work with called Raincatcher. With our body wash, we donate a year of vitamins through our NGO partner called Vitamin Angels.
They hope that their soap will allow them to move from charity to empowerment.
every time that we give, we want to make it so that the need for us to be there goes away, and that ultimately that community, that area is able to support themselves.
That support happens here at home, too.
We found out that one of the top 3 requested items from homeless shelters are underwear, socks, and believe it or not, soap.
Donating what they call bars of hope to shelters and food pantries opened the door to domestic giving campaigns for the company.
Soapbox is actually one of my very favorite companies.
The Whole Foods market at Friendship Heights carries Soapbox and says their customers come in with more than just a list.
They like to know where things come from. They like to know companies that are local, so they know that they're supporting businesses in their community. And they also like to know if a company has some sort of volunteer or customer or community service side to them.
It's those products with a cause or mission component that brand strategist Chris Lester says are taking down the traditional giants in the market.
This disruptive trend of smaller companies that are really about companies that care about something.
So Charlottesville did not go out, so I switched it to fulfillment.
Companies that have entered the market quickly and are taking tremendous market share, they've made that message part of their product.
It's a message that's resonating with consumers.
I think that's good to go.
Shopping with a conscience and willing to spend a little more for products with altruistic roots.
And that has become a very motivating platform for many people who are looking to be more connected.
I have a box.
Not only their products, but the impact of their products.
We don't want to be too unique. We don't want to be, the special standout. We would love to see every business do this.
It's a trend being supported by consumers, putting their money where their heart is.
And the big idea here is that you can use consumerism for an amazing force of good. And I know I'm totally getting on my soapbox, which is like pun intended. The giving is not us. The giving is the consumer. And we're just the medium facilitating that relationship for them to make the world a better place.
A consumer movement that may be changing the world one wash at a time. In Washington, Laura Evans, Fox 5 News.
This was the main convoy of truckers on the outer loop near Annandale just before 2 this afternoon. Perhaps a couple dozen big rigs, many with flags, more than a few blaring their horns, driving 3 abreast, and behind them, traffic slowing to about 30 miles an hour.
You know, I get a lot of people flipping me off and stuff like that, but I get a lot more people waving to me and giving me a thumbs up, you know.
We rode with North Carolina truck driver John Johnson for part of the morning, asked what this is all about.
There ain't nobody wants anything, violent to happen or any, everybody's talking about, oh, we need a civil war, we need a revolution and stuff like that. We need a peaceful revolution is what we need.
The issues fueling the truckers' anger all over the map.
Everybody knows about the Crosby, Stills, Nash song, the 4 dead in Ohio. Well, how about the 4 dead in Benghazi?
Stay out of our health care. Let the doctors handle that. Don't get into things they don't understand.
Virginia and Maryland State Police tell us they're keeping a close eye on the rolling protest, warning truckers who purposely impede traffic. That's exactly what happened to Mr. Johnson.
There's a citation for the violation. Okay, it's a payable fine. You're going to have 3 options, okay?
He said he's writing me a ticket for impeding traffic and doing less than the posted, or doing less than the minimum speed limit.
All right, you're pretty good, sir.
You have a good day.
Where the convoy is not, traffic moves fairly well. A driving rain, the biggest headache. Back behind the wheel and on the road again.
We're going to bump that speed up to 42 mile an hour.
Yeah, probably safer that way.
We asked Johnson whether this will have been worth the trouble.
It don't matter. It don't matter if we make a difference or not. You saw us. That police officer back there saw us. That woman right there seen us. They knew we were out here, and I hope they listen.